Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone to Insight Policing Livestream Uncut. It's June and my name is Dr. Megan Price. I direct the Center for Applied Insight Conflict Resolution and train Insight Policing, which is conflict resolution for law enforcement, strategic conflict communication skills that officers can use on the job to get control of difficult, challenging, escalating situations in a way that solves the problem effectively and keeps everybody safe. And I'm joined here today by Andre Brooks.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Hello.
We are missing Mike Delaney. He's heading out on vacation, so we'll see him next time. But Andre, so there's been all this talk about Ocean City and some things going down there. Let's talk about that. What's going on?
Yeah, it's another black eye for policing, obviously. We've seen these things throughout the entire year or more, and this is yet another incident that just does not look well for the police department. And I guess we could take a minute if you can roll the video, and we can talk about it. This is another travesty for police, I believe.
Yeah. So when is this happen? Give us a little bit more background. When was this happening?
So it looks like it was two separate incidents. One was on around June 6th, and this is when a single individual was stopped for vaping, and he was standing with his hands up in the air. He had a backpack on. The police say that he had threatened to harm the police, but the way the video looks, it looks like his hands are up in the air. It looks like he does kind of reach around, maybe take his backpack off, but before he can even get to that point, he's shot in the stomach. Was shot with a taser. He goes straight to the ground, and then they pretty much hog time and pull him off. Second incident, also a vaping incident in Ocean City on the boardwalk, it looks like. And it looks like a group of kids, I think they were from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, were stopped for vaping. I think they initially put it away, started walking away. It's alleged that the officers followed them, didn't ask for their identification, and things went downhill from there. That second video, you'll see an officer, you'll see one kid on the ground, and it looks to me that he's handcuffed and he's secure by the officers, and you have one officer who just starts some serious knee blitz to the guy's side, yelling to stop resisting, but I don't see any non-compliance with the young man, and you can clearly hear in that video that he's saying, "Hey, look, I'm not resisting. So, once again, I think it's a lost opportunity for the police to have some kind of positive dialect for people, instead of going directly to physical force, maybe using some skills to maybe talk to these people, so it doesn't have to result in physical force. So I'm really disturbed at once again seeing this.
Well, let's go to the clip. Thanks for that overview. Oops, let's see. Okay, here we go.
So this is the initial one on June 6th. You see the guy, he's on the boardwalk. I didn't see anything in his hands. I don't know what he had in the backpack. The police did say that he had a weapon in the backpack, a knife, but it didn't seem to me that he was too threatening with his hands up. I mean, it looks like he was actually maybe going to take the backpack off, or I don't know what a knife was that the backpack was in his pocket. But once again, you have several officers on the scene, and you tase a guy like that in the stomach, and so this. Well,
and look at the reaction from the public, and of course, the officer and the boy standing there, they're the ones who know what happened, but the impression is terrible,
right,
profanity, right. And just a really bad look.
Right, and really, definitely a really bad look. I mean, you have the opportunity to have these guys, I think maybe use a different approach maybe talking to this guy a little bit more. You already got your taser out. And like I said, I don't know what he said to them, but all this is over vaping, and I don't see why that would be a crime where this type of force would be used against anyone.
Well, it makes you wonder as well about what are the policies in Ocean City around vaping, and are they thought through? Are they necessary? Is there something that needs to be changed in the law that so this kind of thing doesn't happen?
Yeah. Well, I know it's illegal according to what I've been hearing, but we're talking about vaping. We ain't talking about stealing or assault or something like that. To use that kind of force is not good.
Yeah. All right. So that happened, and then just a few days later, something else happened, and this other incident took place that you were talking about. So again, a vaping situation.
Yeah, yet another vaping on the boardwalk in Ocean City. You see the kid down. You see the officer here. This incites the crowd even more because the kid's already in handcuffs, and you can hear the kid say, I'm not resisting. And we hear the officer scream, "Stop resisting!" And see, those are the kind of things that just keep on being issues. Screaming, "Stop resisting!" and just while the kid's in handcuffs and he's face down, not resisting, and you start kneeing him like that. I mean, that's excessive. That's overboard. There's just no way to get around that. I mean, if the guy was still fighting and he was being uncooperative and not being put into handcuffs, but he was already in handcuffs. It obviously shows that, and he wasn't flailing around fighting them. So I'm not sure what this officer was thinking, kneeing him like that. And it just caused, when you play the video more, you'll see how it caused even more people to be arrested and more hostility toward the police about what was going on. All over vaping again.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Well, people are mad.
Yeah, and you can see you got all every kind of person standing around. I mean, just not young black, but you got different people still standing around and protesting about that. It's not a good look there. It's really not a good look.
Physical violence like that it escalates conflict.
Yeah. I mean, okay, you're gonna lock him up and get him out of there. But lock him up and then use excessive force, that's a little bit extreme. And then this leads to additional conflicts with other police and other folks that are watching what's happening. And these are the kind of things that we're talking about. And these are the reasons why they want to do police reform and things like that. I mean, this looks like very little communication, probably, other than get back. I mean, that whole situation set off this whole conflict here. So.
I wonder what happened before. Is there more to the video that we should watch?
No, well, to this one, yes, because you're going to see additional use of force.
Okay, let's see.
Young man over there, all the people on the back, and guys videotaping them, and then you got the police stepping in and start using physical force. And I mean, it's like, why are you let them videotape, have them step back. We've seen scenarios where people are excited, just ask them to step back. You can film all you want, but it's causing more conflict when you use force to get people out of there. And now you see this situation here. So now you see
they're thinking. I mean, what are
he's gonna get tased. Watch, he's gonna get tased. I think it's a ridiculous situation here. So, I'm not sure if that other guy got arrested, but I think multiple kids.
Say it again.
With the initial guy were arrested. I think a total of 3 of them were arrested. So, but once again, it's just, I understand the scene is hostile. I understand that, you got to do your job as a police officer, but, in this day and age, once again, what we see here is something
Well,
that's
what is the job? I mean, what's the job of the police officer, and are they executing that?
well, the job is to really protect and serve. I mean, are we who are we protecting and who are we serving here? I mean, it looks like they're protecting themselves and serving a harsh punishment on a bunch of kids for vaping.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have my mixed emotions about this whole thing. I understand you have to police. I understand that. But excessively policing and dealing with folks in a different light would probably definitely have a different outcome. I just don't. I don't see how the folks in Ocean City can justify this, if you ask me. And they've already started justifying it. And as a result, now you have the NAACP and several other people speaking out against this kind of issue down there. I mean, 2 occasions in less than a month. I'm not stranger to the issues in Ocean City on the weekends and some of the other issues, but involving crime down there, and some rowdy folks down there. But I just don't agree with what I see here.
Yeah. Well, you wonder how. I'm gonna stop the share here, but you do wonder how responding in that way with that amount of force is going to impact safety in the long run, because we hear often around how important it is to build that trust between the community and the police, so that the community knows that the police are there for them. They are there to protect and serve, not just to harm or to bully or to enforce through punishment. And so the higher that punishment is, the less likely the community is going to trust them. When there's no procedural justice or no feeling that the enforcement is fair, then that just widens the divide and actually ends up with less safety in the long run. So you kind of wonder how they're going to balance that.
Yeah, well, they're not doing a very good job of it right now. We're just starting the busy months for them down in Ocean City and different places.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of people who don't go to Ocean City anymore because of a lot of issues that go on down there. And like I said, I'm not saying that the police don't have a tough job down there, but when you do things like they did in this situation, you're just making it tougher for yourself to just, it's supposed to be a resort town where you can bring your family to enjoy yourself. But I mean, how you trusting the police when you see police, especially the one that was near the kid, use excessive force, in my opinion. I just don't think that force is justified.
Right. Well,
you're correct.
I'm, my thoughts go out to those kids and to the families, and also to the officers who, must not have really felt like there were any other options for them in those moments. And I wonder kind of how they're dealing with this, particularly with all the media.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tough, but once again, it's a thin line. It's a thin line here when you're dealing with this situation. And in today's society and policing, you got to use some better judgment. You got to use better tactics, communication. It really could have turned bad for them, because if you really had an entire crowd of hostile people seeing somebody being abused like that, it really could have turned even worse for those. They could have very well been outnumbered.
Yeah.
You could have had a riot on your hand, but you lock the kid up, understand, get him up out of there and get him out of there. When you sit in and do something like that to a person that's already in handcuffs, you're inviting other issues that occurred down there. So
I think what we need to be really clear about too, Andre, and when you first showed me this, you said is, this is what this is what Americans are seeing of policing. And that's a real problem, because this is not all of policing, and this doesn't illustrate the best of policing either. So, I mean, I think I asked you, is this normal? And what did you say?
What we watched there was definitely not normal, especially the part with the officer near that kid like that. You know what I mean? Once you have a person in custody and control, just get them out of there as quick as you can. I mean, all that other extra stuff, I mean, that's definitely not normal. And it definitely, once again, puts a black eye on policing and the relationship between the public and the police. Like you said, further erodes the trust. So
Yeah.
once again, back at the same place again. And I mean, what did George Floyd situation do? And what did all the reform and nothing? I mean, you still got some of these guys out here who just don't get it, and I don't understand that. So
yeah, we've got a long way to go.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Andre. And for the audience, put your comments in the comment box, like the video, share it. This is an important conversation to be having. So thank you, Andre.